Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. Today we are going to be going over some tips for planning a vacation. If you got some vacations coming up, I would highly recommend just watching this video to get some ideas on how to plan a vacation with a group of people or for your family. There's a ton of them, so get prepared. But let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I do want to go over is when we're planning for a vacation, I have a travel book. This is my handy dandy travel book, and it just has just different things in it, like the dates that we're going to be doing vacations. Let's see. So this, like, right here is just a list of items that I bought, because I keep a list of all the things that I need to buy for all of our trips. But anyway, so let's go start with step one. So the first step in planning a vacation would be your destination and length of stay. So you want to get together with the people you are planning to go with and discuss your location and length of stay. Then you want to discuss when you will be going. I highly recommend to start the planning process about 7 to 12 months in advance, especially if you are someone who's on a budget and can't really afford to just dump money like that every few months like that. For us, we like to plan that way because we can pay for our trip over time, you know, as we lead up to the trip. And if something was to hypothetically come up, you know, we could skip a month and just pay something on our trip for the next one. So just talking with your group and just going over all the things that you want to pay for, making your reservations, just having enough time, like I said, to pivot for if something comes up and you have to change your vacation because maybe the previous vacation you were doing was too expensive, or maybe it's a location that you probably don't want to go anymore, or someone's not able to go to, so you want to have that time to pivot and find something else to do. And this has happened to us before. There was one particular year we were planning a trip to California, and my husband, back when he first started working at the job that he's working at, his job is based off of union. And so when you first start a job with you, you're at the very bottom. And so usually all the people at the bottom, you know, they're basically doing all the extra stuff, the mandatory overtime and all that. And so this particular year, he got called in to work literally the week before we were supposed to leave. And I had already bought our plane tickets and booked our hotel and everything. And so we had to switch and go and do Florida and drive to Florida, and we didn't even get a refund for that. We actually ended up using those tickets for our honeymoon because we couldn't get a refund. They just gave us credit. So yeah, so things happen, and it's also important to get insurance on your stays and stuff as well. So if something like that does happen, you can go ahead and get a full refund. So yeah. Anyway, so step two would be budget. Budget is so important if you are a family who lives on a budget. And like I said, you can't just go and dump money whenever you want to. It's very important. Just in general, having a budget in mind when planning a trip is important because it helps you plan more efficiently. Like, I'm a very organized person, and being able to visually see where everything is going and how we're spending our money, it helps so much in our trip. But you just want to have an idea of what you can and cannot do for your trip. And like I said, this is extremely important for people who are budgeting your money for a trip, because if you don't budget and then you run into the problem of wanting to be able to do something and you don't have it, you got to pivot. You got to decide, what are you going to sacrifice? So one thing we always do is we put $200 to the side for emergencies when we are on vacation. So like I said, we've ran into problems before where we've had sick kids and we ran out of medicine. Like, there was one trip where my entire family was sick, and we used all of them, because I always take medicine with us on our trips. But this particular year, we all got sick, and we ran out of the medicine that we had. So I had to stop, and I had to have my husband go out and get more medicine for us. And there's been years where we've ran out of diapers. I feel like almost every time we go on vacation, we run out of diapers. It's like when we're on vacation, it's like my kids use. Well, now that I think about, because my husband said this a few months ago, it's because it's the all the juice and all that crap that they're drinking, because we don't let them drink juice or anything for real at home. So okay, now I get it. I get it now. Anyway, so instead of pulling from our vacation budget, we pull from our vacation emergency funds. That way we aren't going over in our budget, and just being smart about when those emergencies come up. Because like I said, since it's an emergency, we're going to pull from that budget. We're not going to pull from our actual vacation budget, because we want to use that money to be able to do activities, buy souvenirs, buy different foods that we want to eat. So now when actually planning for your trip expenses, you want to consider how you are getting there. Are you flying? If so, will you need a rental, or will you Uber or Lyft everywhere? We have never done the Uber or Lyft thing. I know people who have, and a lot of times, for me, when I'm counting how many times they're with me everywhere, it seems like it could be a lot. So it's like when you add all that up, it seems like you might as well just get a rental, because rentals usually aren't that much depending on the size of your family. For us, we do travel in a van, so that can be more expensive, but I also would recommend just finding good apps that you can use, and I'll get into that in a minute. So anyway, so if you're doing a road trip, you want to ask yourself in your group if you are wanting to bring a car, your own car, or if you're going to rent a car. That makes a huge difference in your expenses. Like I said, we always travel in a van, whether that's in our own van or if that's in a rental van, and that can cost a lot. So when you're doing a road trip, you have to consider gas, and even when you're getting a rental, if you're flying and you get a rental when you're there, you still have to consider gas. So we also do a care checkup, and if it needs to be fixed, we get it done. So like I said, most times we do take our car, and usually with taking our car, we try to make sure right before we go out of town that we get a car checkup, just to make sure that everything is good to go on it. And if there's usually something that needs to be fixed, we go ahead and get that done right before we go out of town. And when we do rent, we like to shop around for the best price, because we will only travel in a minivan, like I said, due to how much more gas we're saving compared to an SUV. And then just there's compartments, like in our particular van, we have compartments in the floor that we can put extra space in. Not every van has that. Like we rented a Honda Odyssey before, and it didn't have that floor space. So just even like you can look online and just research the type of van, whatever van that they're saying they're going to give you. You can research how that van is set up in the inside to see if you have that compartment space, to just give you an idea of. But yeah, so just to give you an idea of what the car is going to look like, and to help you prepare for how you are going to set up when you finally do get that car in your hands. So try to look on websites like Enterprise, Avis, or Priceline. Those are a few that we use, and we always shop around when it is either the day of a holiday or it's the weekend of a holiday, because usually you get the best prices. Even like now, we still haven't officially made up our mind on a particular trip that we're doing later on in the year. We're trying to decide if we're going to rent a car or if we're going to take our car, but still, even if we are like 80% towards taking our car, we still look at rentals, because we could change our mind later. And so we looked over this past Memorial Day weekend, just looking at the prices, and some prices on some of those particular websites, they had dropped to half of the price. And so we went on and we booked it. We didn't pay for it, but we just booked it. And we'll revisit that later on as we get closer to decide if we are going to go ahead and just pay for their rental. So then when it comes to the hotel, finding a hotel is one of the hardest tasks when planning a trip for my family. We are very picky. It usually takes us about 1 to 2 months because we are reading reviews, looking at pictures, the amenities, any hidden fees, because there's a lot of hotels who have hidden fees for, like, if it's a resort, you gotta pay a daily fee. Sometimes there's a parking fee. We are looking at the safety of the area and just comparing the prices because we want to get the best price for our family, and we want, like I said, we're trying to stay for a decent amount of time, but also getting the best price that we can without going over, our budget. So we also like to see what the price would be like to add a later checkout, because we always check out late because we really don't like to check out in the morning because it takes us forever to leave. So if we're checking out at 11, we're probably gonna get up at like 6 or 5 because there's so many of us, and I like to wash, make sure everything, the covers and blankets and everything are washed that day that we check out, because I want to go home with everything clean. So our top place to look for hotels is hotels.com. They have a rewards program, and it helps you save money. They always have great deals, like 20 to 50% off. Like I said, we did look at we were looking at hotels and stuff over the weekend because we were planning for other hotels in the future, and they had some really, really good deals because it was the holiday weekend. So I will also recommend checking the actual hotel website, because sometimes they'll on the hotel's websites they'll have like credits for dining, or they'll give you gift cards or something great as part of booking directly through them. Plus they'll also have like a nice hotel discount as a bundle. And then depending on the trip that we're taking, Airbnb is also a great website to look at as well. We did an Airbnb over Christmas for our family vacation, and we saved so much money. We also did an Airbnb when we went to Nashville a few months ago, and because we booked it, because like I said, that particular trip was a last minute trip, and because we booked it literally a few days before we left, we got it like, I think it was like 70% off. It was such a great deal for the Easter weekend. And something to also consider for budgeting is souvenirs, activity budget, and a food budget. You want to just be mindful about those things, because especially when you have like multiple kids like me, you don't want to go into a trip just spending all this stuff and then you don't really have money to do other things. One thing we always do is we always buy souvenirs for our kiddos prior to a trip, and I've showed this in previous videos when we were packing for other trips. They each get to pick one item per day to open, usually at the end of the trip. If there is money left over on the last day, we'll go to like the mall, or like if we're in Disney, we'll go to Disney Springs, and we'll all pick out one souvenir, whether that's like a particular food item that we wanted, or just like like a keychain or something, just any type of souvenir that we want for the trip. We'll split up the rest of the money that we have amongst all 6 of us, and then we'll just go to different stores and everybody get to pick out one item. And so I would recommend shopping at places like Dollar Tree and Five Below if you're going to get souvenirs before. They usually have a lot of great deals, and when I do my trip hauls, I'll show you a ton of stuff that I bought from those particular places. And like I said, what we have it for kids is it's so much better to shop at those dollar stores, because those dollar stores, they have a lot of nice stuff there. But for food and activities, we like to put up a different list, and I'll attach a picture, but we like to put up a different list for our activity requests and foods that we want to taste. We hang them up in our kitchen on the wall, and everybody just, whenever they can, they'll just come and add stuff to the list that they want to do, or any groceries that they want from our grocery store, because we do buy groceries on our vacation, and activities that they want to do. And what I will say is that those lists will be on the wall for about a month before we actually take them down and start shopping around for the best deals. So look on websites, like I said, during the holiday for deals. Look on Groupon. Also see if you or your partner get discounts through their job. We will use my husband's job's discounts for activities, but not for hotels, because we found that when comparing the price on his stuff versus hotels.com always tends to have the better savings deal than his job website. But something else you also could budget for is clothing, and I'll attach a picture of that, because I went on and added all of the things that we bought for our upcoming trips in that gift tracker app that I use, just to show you how much we spend. But I don't add that to our budget because it's just not something that I really care to do. But I do buy all of our stuff. Just like I said, whenever I go to the grocery store or need to shop for our house, I'll go ahead and buy those things. Just a few items each time I'm able to. And reservations. I basically talked about this already during the budget conversation, so I will keep it light. A month or two into figuring out our vacation plans is when we start making reservations. So because we are a road trip family, the last time we flew on a plane was me and my husband got married, and it was just me and my husband. But priority one for us after we figure out our destination would be the hotel reservation. And like I said, we go over all of our must-haves, and as we are finding the best hotel for our family. Once the hotel is booked, then we can start making our reservations, like the car rental for renting a car, and any activities that we want to reserve, and restaurants and stuff like that. If you are doing a road trip, I would recommend reserving. If you are doing a road trip and you're doing a rental car, I would recommend reserving to pick up that car the day before you leave. That way that you can get everything set up the night before, because we always try to get what we can set up in the car the night before, because it makes it easier on the travel day, because there's always something that goes wrong on travel day, no matter what. Something with a kid, something. So it's better to start getting the car loaded up the night before. Itinerary. An itinerary is so important because it helps you and your group get excited for your trip, and it helps you visually see how much you will be spending. And if you are like my family, you may move some activities around to help you save more. So what I mean by that is there are certain days of the week where you can save a little bit more versus another day. So like last year when we went to Peppa Pig Park, we were trying to go I think like on the weekend, and we noticed that if we went on a Wednesday, we were gonna get like the price sliced in half. So that saved us so much money just going to that particular park. To help figure out what activities we want to do, we like to watch a bunch of YouTube videos with our family to just get the kids input on what they like. And you know, like with our younger kids, they can't really be as detailed as our oldest, but definitely when they like something, they will speak on it. So those videos really help us figure out what activities the kids will like, and help us see how we can save the most money and when to go to those particular places and stuff like that. So definitely recommend that. So those lists that we put up a while ago, the list about the activities and the activities and the food requests, now we take those down and go over them. And sometimes we like to in general, we like to have a family meeting and just go over all the activities, and we like to let each person have at least one activity of their choosing for the trip. And so like I said, with the Peppa Pig Park, most of my kids will actually pick that one. So it's like that'll happen sometimes too, where there's like multiple people who's picking the same activity. So then you get more room to pick other activities that you want to do. We do have a family monthly meeting, like I said, and we'll just incorporate some of those talks about the trip into those family meetings to just figure out what everybody is wanting and make sure that we're accommodating everybody. And like I said, this is even for when you're doing a group trip. You want to accommodate everybody in your group trip because everyone who's going on this group trip deserves to enjoy it. You don't want to be on a trip where you don't enjoy it. I've had the experience before and it was not the best. But anyways, moving on. This is one of my favorite parts of our trip planning. We have a few travel containers in our basement, and we just pull from those, and really we just take them out and we just look through them and just see what all we're going to be bringing for that particular trip. And I'll just keep a list of everything that I'm planning on packing for that trip. And then we also will go in our closet and we'll go in our closet and dressers and we'll see what all that we can wear and what all that needs to be bought. And this particular part of the trip takes a whole day to figure out because there's 6 of us and we are all trying on different looks and seeing what we want to wear for each activity. And like I said, I'm making a list of everything that needs to be bought and everything we're gonna wear in general, and just making sure the kiddos will be able to fit certain things in a few months. And just like I said, looking at the stuff in the travel container, making sure something's not broke, and if something needs batteries, writing down what particular batteries we need to take for those. So our chargers, because like all of our fans, they take chargers. Or like the kids' bubble wands, those require batteries. And so if we are alone, something like laundry detergent, because we do take laundry detergent sheets with us. Just adding it to our list to let me know that, this is something that I need to buy for our upcoming trip. I also want to mention that this particular step in our trip planning process takes about, we usually start this process about month 4 or 5. So like I said, we've been planning for our summer trips. So we started looking at outfits and everything. I think it was probably back in either the beginning of March or the end of February. And then I also want to mention that we like to grab a few items every time that we go to the grocery store. So like I said, that's definitely something I would recommend for a lot of people who are budget shopping, because usually I'll just put something in my cart and I'll just watch it, or I'll put it in our little wish list and I'll just watch it. And as soon as that price drop down, I'll just go ahead and buy it the next time I go grocery shopping or shop for our house. This can be a bit expensive and time consuming. This is why it's so important to start early, especially if you are on a budget like us. Whenever we get paid, we like to pay for 1 or 2 activities for our upcoming trip. I usually have already found, like I said, I've already found a lot of things that I want to buy, and I'll just add 1 or 2 things to the cart and just buy it whenever the deal drop or it goes on sale or there's a deal going on for it. I mentioned before that we like to look on Groupon and for activities. And then another one that I would recommend is Undercover Tourist. They are really good as well. And then just in general, just find deals. Deals are going to be so important when you're planning a trip for your family. The ultimate goal here is to try to have everything paid off before arrival day. So when we're planning for a trip, our goal is to have it done, everything paid off at least 2 weeks before. But I'm talking about the activities and stuff like that. But as far as like clothing and stuff like that, I'll get into that a little bit more later. But we'll usually be buying clothes all the way until like a few days before we leave. But purchasing gift cards for places that you plan to eat at is also a great way to make sure you stay within your budget. We like to look at the food menu in advance and see what we may want. I write down all of our picks and I will add a tip if it is a dine-in restaurant. If our total is more than what our gift card has on it, then we'll just split the difference from our vacation budget. But that's usually never a problem because we never go over, I would say like there have been times, no, not really. I think we probably did spend a little bit more, but there's never been a time where we've actually spent like our total budget for the trip. We usually always have money left over at the end that we can use for other things. This is where it gets really exciting because we're 2 months out now. Now we are starting to get close, which means we need to start looking at our calendar to see what we have going on during that particular time that we're going on vacation. And so this is the time where we're going to start canceling any appointments that we have going on and rescheduling those for a later date. You know, just like just basically just canceling and rescheduling things. And if it is a short trip, like we're going from a Friday to a Monday, or it falls like within the kids' fall or spring break, usually we'll just cancel for the days that they'll be on their holiday break. And then I will also say that if you are planning a Disney trip, this is the time when you will go ahead and start making your reservations for table service and for activities. So the 6-week mark is when things start to move real quicker and things are starting to become more real. My husband and I like to start having weekly meetings to discuss finalizing things and just going over anything that we need to change last minute, or just recapping over everything that we have planned. We also start writing out our to-do list, because we do just have like last minute things that we can't do until like the week of or 2 weeks prior. So we make that list and start making our hair appointments, nail appointments, and stuff like that, and put it on the calendar when I'm gonna do my kids' hair, because I do all 4 of my kids' hair. And so, like I said, this is something we start doing weekly, leading all the way up until we get ready to leave. And then one thing I will recommend is doing at least one meeting. Just try to do one meeting, because you need to sit down and talk with your group about everything that you have planned, so that everybody's on the same, it's in the same headspace and nothing needs to change for them. And like I said with your kids, just because they're kids doesn't mean they don't have an input when it comes to these type of things. They're a part of your family and they deserve to be able to give their input on these things as well. At this point, all activities and hotels should have been paid off. And like I said, we usually are still buying items, so like clothes and then like stuff that we may need for our road trip. We are usually buying those all the way until the week of. But everything that we have bought this far, we start to pull those things out and we bring it into a designated room. And usually it's the living room. And whenever I get a chance, I'll go ahead and start packing those things up into the suitcases and stuff, and just starting to just make things a little bit easier on me as we start to get closer to our leave day. So I also like to meal prep a few meals to have leading up to the week that we leave and then coming back. And this just helps me and my family focus on packing, like I said, before we leave. And then just when we come back, it gives us time to just relax and just get back into the kick of things, especially if it's a small break and the kids got to get ready to go back to school, or just, my husband, he might have to go back to work. And so it just keeps it simple for us as we're trying to get back into our routine. And so I like to make big pans of taco meat, sloppy joe, a chicken casserole. I like to make breakfast casseroles, pancakes, mini deli sliders. And I definitely would recommend looking on Pinterest for a lot of those recipes, because that's where I go. We also like to start watching movies a month before, and then I do have a Spotify playlist for like anytime we're taking a trip, like whatever songs I feel like fit that particular trip. I'll go ahead and make a Spotify playlist for those, and we'll just be listening to those all month and watching different movies to just get us all excited and prepared for our trip. So yeah, I definitely would recommend that, especially with kids. Kids love to just get that tone set for them. Just let them get excited. My kids are already starting to get excited for trips that we have coming up, and we're getting close to that 1 month mark. We're not there yet, but we've already started because we're just so excited for summer. This is when we have our family meetings. And well, our one family meeting, the one, so like I said, me and my husband, we do our weekly family meetings leading up to church, our leave day. And then with our whole family, we do one family meeting 2 weeks before. And this is when we go over safety reminders with our kids, you know, while we're out of town, who's cleaning what before we leave. We give the kiddos a head up on what they are, when they are going to be getting their hair done, and when like the girls may be getting their nails done, and remind the kiddos of some of the fun activities that we are doing. Like I said, you want to get those kids pumped, because the more excited they are, the more excited they're gonna be when they get there. Because like I said, this is their trip too. They deserve to be a part of this experience. This is also when I just make sure that everybody who's requested food, like from the grocery store, because like I said, I do a grocery order, making sure that whatever they want from the store has been written on the list. So when I get to the point of grocery shopping, I don't have to go and say, hey, you didn't put this on the list, or are you sure that you blah blah blah. So yeah, we got that out the way. Now we are down to the final week. This is the week that we are literally getting ready to leave. So at this point, we are mostly packed. Everyone is just getting themselves groomed and dialed up, and we are getting the house together. I always order groceries to be picked up or delivered to our hotel, depending on where we're staying. And this is the time for me to do all of that now. So I do that this final week. I have also placed my final store order from home. So I usually have to order some more stuff right before we leave that I couldn't get earlier, because they're like things that we need for the road, and they're like things that might go bad so if I would have ordered them earlier. And then we like to get things like a case of water for the road. My husband likes to eat sunflower seed. Let's see what else. Grapes are something great that you could put in the cooler. Chips, like some of it, just basically some of everyone's favorite little snacks that they'll like to snack on while we're driving there. And then let's see, if we are taking our car, we go ahead and get our car cleaned a few days before we leave. Go ahead and get all that cleaned, and then, you know, we're basically ready to go. And I know this is a lot of steps, but I'm just trying to be as detailed as I can, because I know there's a lot of people out there like me who's a type A person who like to be this organized. And so the night before is when basically we're doing final things. So like, for instance, the bathroom is usually like one of the last things they get clean. Everybody's getting their showers and stuff. And this is when we go ahead and start putting anything that we can put into the car the night before. And then if we rented a car, we pick that up on the night before. And everything is just set up in the living room. So the clothes we're gonna wear for the next day. We've got all the food that we have backed up and stuff. Like I said, usually I feel, the food is usually something we go ahead and put in the car as well. But everything is really just set up in the living room, because we don't want to have to run around looking for things. Yeah, we got the cooler out. We've already bought the ice, and the ice is just sitting in our deep freezer. We're finishing up laundry. We're getting the house completely locked down, and we're just preparing to get ready to leave. And so we like to leave when we're doing a road trip. We like to leave, if it's a long road trip, we like to leave in the middle of the night. So really, if you think about this, if it's the day before, it's really, we're packing the morning up if we're leaving in the middle of the night. And we leave in the middle of the night because we can get so much driving done because the kids are sleeping. You're not gonna hear a lot of bathroom requests. You're not gonna hear a lot of crying and stuff like that. So we don't have to stop as frequently. So I definitely would recommend, if you can, leave in the middle of the night. And what we also like to do the day before we leave is we like to make the kids just stay up. No naps, nothing. They gotta be up the entire day. That way, when they get to their car, they are so tired, they're out for a nice amount of time. That definitely helps us get some driving done as well. This is when it gets so exciting. So travel day is so fun. It's usually busy. We are just running around trying to get everything packed up. We're getting ourselves dressed, and we're just checking the house to make sure everything is cleared out of the house. Everything is locked, the house is secure and everything. And but this is when we also put our phones on do not disturb. We don't like to communicate with anyone when we're on vacation. Vacation time is very important for our family. So I definitely would recommend that anything that's going on at home can wait. Enjoy that family time with your family because it's so important. So yeah, so like I said, usually travel day, it's crazy, but it's exciting. You know, we've gotten most of everything done, so we really don't have anything else that we really need to do. It does take a long time, usually because we're packing the bigger stuff in the car and then just dealing with the kids. But for the most part, it's much easier if you get everything done ahead of time. But so those are all of my tips and tricks on how to prepare for a trip. I know it was a lot, but I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on how to plan for a trip. And for anybody who's going on vacations this summer, guys, have fun, enjoy your family time, enjoy any time that you may be having with your friends, whatever. Enjoy summer break. You only get so many summers with your kids, and just that time with your spouse, you know, just that quality great time with your spouse. You know, we all have busy lives, and God teaches us that we need to take that time out to spend time with our spouse, spend time with our children. So enjoy this time. If you have vacation time, take that vacation time and have fun with your family. When you have off days, take those times. Just take a day trip. Do whatever, but enjoy these moments. Time is so precious, guys. It's so precious and meaningful. Even if you feel like you're having a bad day, go talk to someone that means so much to you. But I love to talk to my husband when I'm having a bad day, and he just uplifts me in so many ways. And like I said, for the people who, you know, don't get to spend time with your spouse as much because they're working, enjoy the time when he or she gets off. You know, me and my husband, we like to take like an hour at night to talk before he heads to work. You know, we do date nights once a week, or day dates when the kids are at school. But you know, since they're getting ready to be out, you know, so we're gonna have to change our whole schedule. But like I said, just enjoy it. Your relationships are so important, whether it's a friend relationship, your children, your husband, your wife. Those relationships are so important because we as humans, we need those relationships to thrive. We do. Everyone just have a great summer break, and you guys will see me soon. Bye.